Hi, Jim. Thanks for
Hi.
your time.
Fantastic. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah.
So I see you guys are growing, you are looking
We are.
for new computer, new workstation, so that's really great and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
So I thought I'd take this opportunity to review everything, review your business, review what else we can do for you guys.
Hey, let's do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's look at, the first thing I wanna look at is, so here is what what I've planned is we're gonna go over what we have done for you in the past,
Okay.
2018 agreement. We have been talking about technology funding, customer technology program. We're
Okay.
gonna talk about GFP, we'll talk about visibility solutions, paperless invoice. We have talked about capital and that was critical. So just a reminder again, and we have planned a solutions visit for you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So here's, oops. Okay. So the first is technology integration, okay?
Mhm.
So basically what we're talking about here is how it's going to save you time versus what you're doing right now. It's basically time value of money. So it's about $1,500 for this. Okay. Quantum view manage, that's another thing we have talked about. Now as your base is growing, you are bound to be getting more calls. You need to see what's going, what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives you visibility to that. It doesn't cost you anything, it's a free solution, it saves you time and visibility.
So that's
Mhm.
implemented, but I'm not using it, right?
Yes, that is correct. You're not using, we have talked about in the past, you're not using.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So now, also in January 2018, we did a new agreement for you that saved you approximately $25,000 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then here we're talking about UPS One Network, which, as you know, one driver picks up your ground, air, international packages, so you don't have to stage it 3 different times. It saves you time and saves you money.
Okay.
Okay. So now you've been wanting to get a new computer, a new workstation. So we've got CTP planned for you. You
Okay.
can get up to $2,000 in funding for your technology needs.
Okay.
Okay.
Have I been on one of these before?
You were on it a while ago.
Okay.
Yes. We've talked about several times in the past. I think you're kind of ready to use it now.
Okay.
Yes. So now you do about, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the paperless invoice and why and what it's gonna do for you.
Okay.
So you do about 2 international packages a day.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you're doing commercial invoices. That means you're printing 3 copies, you're attaching it to the package, and so it's taking your time. And sometimes those 3 invoices get separated, driver loses, you lose, and then your package is being held.
Has that happened?
I haven't seen that happen in a while, but it can and does happen from time to time. I haven't seen, because I get emails when the customer is missing that, so
Okay.
I don't remember your name coming up very often.
Okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, so here's what it does. So you're gonna sign up one time. After that, you won't have to print copies, you won't have to attach copies. A barcode comes with your label, so
Mhm.
that has the information for the paperless. So it never gets separated, and you never have an issue with slowing down your packages, and it speeds up the process of getting to this final destination.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're pretty busy, but I'm sure that's something we could look at sometime in the future.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. There's a couple of forms I need you to sign, and you sign it, we load it to your account, and here is kind of what it's gonna do for you in terms of savings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 shipments a day, basically you're spending 10 minutes at least for printing those copies, attaching it. So it'll eliminate about 84 hours of work that you're doing for the year, and about $1,300 of savings for the year, just by signing up one time, maybe take 5 minutes. That's all that is.
I see what you're saying, and I mean, the 10 minutes though, I've been back there, I've watched them.
Mhm.
I mean, the invoices are all kind of printed already, and they fold them and slide them into the envelope. I
Sure.
mean, it's,
Sure.
I don't think it's 10 minutes.
Sure, so even if it saves you, let's say, less time, is it really worth the price? Let's say your package gets held, even one package once a week, okay? Now your customer is unhappy on the other end. Why do it? Why risk losing a customer? It's simpler. You won't even have to remember. You won't have to attach. Driver won't have to lose, so it's...
Rewind. What was the question? You asked me a question.
So, why not do it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you see how nice that was? I don't know, let me think about that. I don't know why I wouldn't do that.
I have the forms, you sign it here, and we're done.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
All right, wonderful, thank you. So let's see what's the next solution for you. Oops. So, I know you don't do freight with us anymore, okay? But some of your freight qualifies for GFP, we call ground with freight pricing. So basically all that is, if you have 2 or more packages that are between 150 to 500 pounds combined weight, you can process right on the word ship. You won't have to call FedEx.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to start over, I was reading that.
Oh, sure, no problem. Okay.
Hang on, I'm not done.
Sure, sorry. I'll clean this slide next time for sure.
Well, I just wanna make sure I get all the
Yeah,
details,
yeah.
there's lots of it on there,
Sure.
so I'm almost down to the fourth
Sure.
bullet point. All right, I got it, okay, go ahead.
All right, so what do you think this is?
A lot.
Yes. Yeah. So basically all this is, so you're processing in the worship everything, okay? So
Mhm.
you have 4 or 5 packages going to a customer, you say, well, I'm gonna send it by freight, okay?
Mhm.
So rather than getting to the freight, you can process them right in the worship. You won't have to put them in a pallet. You won't have to schedule a separate shipment, okay? It
Mhm.
just goes ground, actually, and gives you a price break. So it's saving you time and again, saving you money.
So, I mean, you say price break, but I mean, it's usually substantially different between my LTL shipments and regular UPS. So, I mean, I don't see paying more for this, that's why we use freight.
Well, so there's a couple of things here. So we can look at a couple of examples and compare. Honestly, at some places it could save you money, at other places it may not. So we can compare, but like I said, one, you don't have to go to the FedEx terminal to process a freight shipment, okay?
Right.
2, you don't have to buy a pallet. You don't have to
Mhm.
shrink wrap it. And,
Mhm.
the ground driver picks it up, and the revenue adds to your tiers. So your agreement
Right.
stays intact and keeps you moving in the next tier.
I mean, I like that, I would need to be sure I was saving money, so I'm not
Sure,
gonna do it for a
sure,
loss, so.
So we can, we can walk your people through, we can give me a couple of samples, we can rate them, and like I said, some places it could save you money, other places it may not. But it's easier solution, you just don't have to change from step 1 to go to another terminal, process it, versus just you're here, process them, you
Right.
don't have to stage a separate shipment, you just picked up with your daily pickup.
So what needs to happen?
We can even, right now, you can bring a couple of samples, I can walk you through how to process it, we can compare if it looks good. Just like regular down packages you're processing.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of different shipments and a lot of different shipment weights. I mean, you said that some might save me money and some might not.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little bit worried if we looked at 1 or 2 and.
Sure. So you're gonna save fuel charge for freight is close to 30%. Okay, ground is about 7%. So 20-25% savings there. So I don't know what your freight rates are, so I can't really tell you if it's gonna save you every time.
Mhm.
But it's gonna save you certainly, I would think, on some of the shipments. So, and also it's gonna save you time because you're processing it right there. You're not
Mhm.
buying a pallet, nobody is shrink wrapping it. Like I said, it's gonna keep adding to your revenue tiers, so it's keeping you moving your higher revenue tiers.
So how could we be sure that it's gonna save me money?
So your shipments pretty much are you know who you ship to. So if you want to give me 5-10 samples of what you're shipping to, I'll rate those, bring those back, and then you know which ones you're saving, which ones you're not.
Okay, so 5 or 10.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you. So. Okay. So next one we have talked about UPS Capital. Okay.
I won't do it to you on this one.
Okay. Can you tell me why not?
No. I won't read that slide.
Right. Honestly, I realized after Sahar's
I'm going to
slide.
save you that.
Yes.
I'm going to pretend I didn't even look at the screen.
I looked at the slide, I said, I'm going to change my slide now. I can't have that next time.
Okay, so regardless of what's up there, what are we talking about?
Okay. So now you have shipments that are $200, and now you have shipments where you're shipping those expensive machines for $50,000, $100,000.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you have ever had a damage on those things and what the company pays, whosoever you're using. If you have capital, it's an insurance company,
Mhm.
and it's going to insure your shipments.
Well, which is nice, but I mean, I haven't had any problems with them yet.
Sure, and you don't want to have a problem. I mean, you don't want to have that machine break.
Right.
So this way, insurance is, we don't want to have an accident, and that's why we have car insurance, so,
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would depend on how much it costs.
Sure.
Because these are really expensive units, and when you say insurance, I'm hearing like dollars ringing up in my head of money I gotta spend.
So absolutely you will spend money to insure a very expensive product, which if it breaks can cause a lot of damage.
Mhm.
And it may be, whatever it turns out to, it may be pennies on the dollar. Okay,
Mhm.
so $200 shipment you can get by damage, okay, no big deal. $50,000 machine, I think that's damage, that's quite a bit. It may be worth adding for every shipment $10, $20, $30, $40 to the customer and recoup your money and make sure you're covered if there is ever damage.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess it would depend on if it's 10, 20, 30, or $40,
sure,
right?
sure. So I've got to bring a UPS Capital person in here.
Okay.
Okay, she has got to take a look at it, and then she can tell you what it is. I mean, you're not obligated to. If you think it's not for you, then it's not for you. At least you will know how much it's going to cost.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, okay, all right, great, thank you. So, next thing is, we have talked about it before, UPS Express Critical. So, okay. So what the UPS Express...
So remind me, what are you
Sure.
talking about here?
So let's say you have a customer says, it's Friday, I need this machine by Saturday. Okay?
Ooh, okay.
Okay? It's 7 p.m., you can't get hold of anybody, and they say, I don't care how much it costs you. So UPS Express, it's part of UPS, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. You can get a quote online, or you can call them, and they'll tell you how much it's going to cost you, so your product can get to its destination in the time you want it, and that's basically UPS Express Critical.
So how is this better than what I'm doing now?
I'm not sure what you are paying right now, but the only thing is, if the freight company you're using, the white glove service, okay, if they're
Mhm.
closed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, if it's in a, or even if we're open, we can't get there before Monday while your customer wants it on Saturday,
Mhm.
this can get to the destination in time when your customer is requesting.
So we're really talking about is this window of time after 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Well, I
Should I
meant to-
get an order that has to be delivered on
Well,
Saturday?
it may turn out to be economical where you want to use it. You might pay less than the white glove service you're using every time, regardless of the time.
Okay, so there may be a cost savings here, but
Sure.
with as much or
Sure.
comparable service.
Yeah. So the goal of Express Critical is to get to destination. Shipments that are important. They need to get there in time. It's a premium service. But I don't know what you're paying to this white glove service. You might as well compare and have it in your back pocket.
Well, is there a proposal you can drop off?
So I've got to. So how about this? Okay, give me the dimensions, the weight, I can get you some quotes for the service.
Okay.
Okay, dimensions, destination, weight, and all that, and I can get you, then we can compare and see how it looks.
Okay, well, I tell you what, before you leave, why don't we grab that?
Oh, wonderful, thank you.
All right.
So the last slide I have for you is the savings, okay? So in the agreement, we saved you $25,000. The Quantum View, the visibility solutions we're talking about is gonna save you approximately $1,900.
Mm-hmm.
Technology integration is gonna save you $1,500. Customer technology can do funding of up to $2,000. One driver advantage, I guess I didn't write on the hours. Paperless invoice is gonna save you, I think, 84 hours or about roughly $1,300 for the year.
Okay.
So how does all that sound to you?
It looks good. I mean, like you said, we're growing here, right?
Yes.
And things are changing, and I absolutely appreciate you guys brought me that pricing agreement last year, and boy, that helped a lot. I mean, I'm wondering, it's 2019, so how about we take another look?
Sure. So what I've got for you is, when you're talking about saving time and saving money,
Uh-huh.
you've been also talking about putting in another workstation. Your the place is small, it's getting tight, you're getting more merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to bring a UPS solutions person that can save you tons of money potentially or tons of time.
Okay.
So I've got availability for end of May for him.
So when he presents his solution, is that gonna be with my new contract?
So sure. So those are two different things, honestly. Okay.
Okay.
So what solutions he's going to look at everything, how you process, how long it takes, and can he shorten that time and save you money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the solutions. Now agreement, we just did that for you just about a year. It was a very aggressive agreement. It's saving you money. So I mean, the way you're growing, there is no reason we can't look at another couple of years. You're getting very aggressive rates.
You know, I can appreciate that. I mean, I just wanna make sure that I'm getting the best deal I can. So I just wanna make sure you're confident that you know your competitor, I get an email weekly.
Sure, I understand.
So I just wanna make sure that you feel good that if I compare that to what you have in place, that you're in good shape.
I have the best agreement I can have for you right now. I am trying to go one step higher, bring your solutions guy, see how do we save money for your business, not only just for transportation spend, but your entire business supply chain. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Does it sound good?
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
All right.